Right. All right, I will give it about 20 seconds and we'll get started. All right, you all, we are back again, week 2 of our Black History event that's geared towards youth and young adults. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the life of being a physician assistant. We'll be here for the rest of the month, Lord willing, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. So before we get started, I'll read the bio of our speaker for tonight. Her name is Tamara Poteat. Tamara is a physician assistant that was born and raised in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is outside of Tulsa. She has worked in women's health since graduating from PA or physician assistant school in 2008, but has worked in her current specialty, urogynecology, since 2010. She loves working with women who have complex pelvic floor disorders and helping them to regain their quality of life. She spends most of her time away from work transporting her kids to their various activities, but likes to listen to podcasts, read, and ride her Peloton. Yes, I feel you on that, even though I need to get back on mine. She also loves to travel and try new local restaurants. So I am going to bring up Miss Tamara. Before I do that, Soar and Read Physical Therapy, and I am Dr. Mister of Soar and Read Physical Therapy. Let's go ahead and bring up Miss Tamara Poteat. Hello, hon. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. I know you've been running around, and you said it's been a long
Yeah.
day, so we'll just go ahead and get to it.
Yes.
So, tell us about yourself. What high school, what colleges, or any special organization that you're a member of?
Yeah. So like you said, I grew up in Broken Arrow. I went to Union High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After that, I got an academic scholarship to go to OU. Um,
Okay.
and then after I went to OU, I went to Barry University in Miami, Florida for PA school. So for my graduate studies.
Gotcha.
Loved Miami, but hated the cost of living there. So I came back here. My
Gotcha.
husband and my kids.
All right. So I know you're a physician assistant, but what exactly do you do as a physician assistant?
Yeah, so physician assistants, we're actually kind of transitioning the name. So they're
Okay.
trying to get it changed to physician associate because I think they say that it better describes what we do. But
Okay.
we're a member of the healthcare team, so we're considered an advanced practice provider, similar to like nurse practitioners. But we're a member of the healthcare team that can see patients. We often function as like the patient's primary care provider, so we can evaluate patients, diagnose them, treat them, prescribe medications, you know,
Okay.
take care of patients. We work in all specialties in every state, different
Okay.
countries. So.
Nice. So, what is the biggest difference between you all and a regular like provider, a medical doctor, a physician?
Oh, okay. So PAs, we don't have a doctorate degree. Most of us don't have a doctorate degree, I should say. Schooling is different. So as a PA, I got a master's degree, which was like a 2.5 year program for me. Some of them are a little bit longer. Um,
Okay.
and then after that, I'm free to work. So a lot of what I do is like basically like on the job training. So if you're hired as a new graduate PA, you may have a period of time where you're working directly with a physician to like basically learn exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, and then after that you can function, independently. So see your own
Okay.
patients, like I said, manage their treatment plans.
Oh, okay. All right. So, how did you find out about like PA school? Like, why did you get involved or go to PA school?
Yeah, so I've always loved medicine. Even as a kid, my mom will tell stories about how I used to like wrap her ankle with ace bandages or like pretend like I was a doctor with my stuffed animal. So I always go into medicine. I didn't
Okay.
learn about this specific field until high school. So my mom had a PA that she saw, and I remember she would always tell me that she hated to have to see the doctor. She only wanted to see her PA because she felt
Mm,
time with her and like actually listen to her. Uh,
gotcha.
and so I spoke with her PA, and she kind of introduced me to the field and let me know, what
Okay.
I do to get into it.
Gotcha. So, was she like any other mentors or coaches that you had along the way?
I really didn't. I didn't know any other PAs at the time. I didn't have any PAs or even really medical providers in my family that I could ask questions to. So it was really just doing my own research.
Gotcha. And that's why I wanted to do this as well, because we don't know where to go when we're interested in a different, like, or whatever career when we're younger. It's like, who do we ask these questions to? Because most of the
Yeah,
time we don't have people like that in our families, you know.
right.
So is there, I know there's schooling, but there's any special training needed? And I think you answered that one already, but PA school.
Yeah,
Um,
so PA school, it's a master's program now. So in order to sit for the certifying body, the national certifying body, it's you have to have a master's degree.
okay, okay. So masters. Okay. So then when you graduate PA school, you have your master's. Am I hearing you right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So do you have to have, okay, you go get your bachelor's, you get your master's, and then you go to PA school.
Bachelor's, master's, PA. No, bachelor's, PA school, which is a master's program.
Got it. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. So and what is the highest degree that you can get as a PA?
You can get a doctorate in medical sciences.
Okay.
As a
Doctor of medical
PA.
science. So I'm trying to take notes. Sorry. And any certain type of skills or personality type that a person need to make it in your field.
I think that most PAs are kind of type A, so like a lot of attention to detail, which is important. Like if you're taking care of patients and
Right.
you have someone's life in your hand, basically. Um, and then I think you have to be a problem solver. So medicine is a lot of like taking pieces of a puzzle and trying to fit it together to find solutions for a problem. So being like having that type of like inquisitive nature is important.
Gotcha. All right. And what made you get involved in women's health?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I started working in women's health as a new grad and I just fell in love with it and I couldn't see myself, doing anything else. So
Yeah.
that's why I've stayed in it. But I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, do y'all do residencies or anything like that when you're in school?
No, so we do a year of didactic, so classroom work, and then in our program we did a year of clinical rotations.
Oh,
So it's not like a residency per se, but we went through different rotations in different areas. So like surgery, um, primary care, women's health, pediatrics, and then you have certain electives. I'm sure I'm missing some, but we
right.
had 6 weeks on each rotation, and then, like I said, you had electives that you could choose if you enjoyed one more than another or wanted to learn more.
Gotcha. And to keep your license, you have to have continuing education, or you guys have to tell me about that. How many hours continuing education? And I think you have to retest or something.
Yeah, so we have to recertify every 10 years,
Okay. Okay.
which is tough.
Yeah.
Going back and basically like having to test over everything that you learned in PA school like
Yeah.
10 years out. So like for me, it's really hard because I work in a surgical subspecialty. So all of the things that primary care PAs are doing on a daily basis, I don't do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we have to recertify. We have to maintain a certain number of CMEs. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like 100 every 3 years. And
Okay.
states are different, but for the national certifying body, it's 100 every 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah.
Got it. All right. So, what are some of the benefits of being in your career? Like, what would you say you love the most about it?
Uh, so as a PA, I can switch specialties if I
Mhm.
want, which is different than say like as a medical doctor. So as a PA, if I wanted to, like right now I'm in women's health, if I wanted to one day say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to go work in orthopedics. As long as there's someone that's willing to hire me,
Yeah.
I can go work there without having to, go back to school or do like another residency or another training. Um,
Gotcha.
I think that's probably the main thing that I love about being a PA is just the versatility, the ability to switch.
Okay. So, what some of the things that you don't like? You know, you got to be honest. There's pros and cons to everything. So,
Yeah, for sure. I'll say one thing that's a con is it's expensive. So PA school is not cheap. So I think like state PA schools, I think you can get in or get through for like 50, maybe $75,000 for the 3 years. But I went to private school. Private schools can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's a big con. And then I think too, sometimes people just aren't educated about what PAs do or who we are. So, you
Right.
know, your patients will say they don't want to see a PA. So if you have a big ego, I mean that's going to be hard for you to deal with. But it just
Gotcha.
like what we can do. So
Gotcha. All right. So were you all affected by, or your profession affected by COVID at all?
not really. I think some PAs were furloughed. For me, I mean, I wasn't. Our clinic was shut down for a little bit, but we were still, being compensated and still able to see patients virtually.
Okay.
One good thing about COVID, it allowed us to start seeing patients, through telehealth, which I never thought would be an option for what I do.
Yeah.
But no,
Are
that's
y'all still doing telehealth?
we're still doing telehealth. Yeah. So, like for medication checks, medication follow up visits, or PT follow up visits, we give patients the option to do that, via telehealth, which is good because, my patients are older usually. And so it's sometimes hard to get somebody to bring them to the clinic, to their appointments, or they may have mobility issues. So,
Yeah.
that has been a really good thing for our clinic.
Gotcha. All right. So what advice would you give anyone that's interested in becoming a physician assistant?
Hmm. Okay. I would say just, find PAs out there that can mentor you. There's a whole community on Instagram,
Mm,
PAs, that are willing to help or answer any questions. Get lots of healthcare experience. Shadowing PAs is important, um,
right.
and just making sure that you're working hard and keeping your grades up because that's
Yeah.
a big thing. You have to be able to get into school, and if you don't have the grades, you're not going to get in. Uh,
Gotcha.
it's hard, but it's worth it in the end for sure.
Yeah. So while you're in school, do you have to maintain a certain GPA?
You do, and it depends on the program. So I know if you drop below a certain GPA, and I don't even know what that GPA was at my school, but
Yeah.
if you drop below a certain GPA, you'd be on probation, and then if you didn't pick it up, you'd be out.
Yeah. That's how PT school was. Yeah. Well, that is actually, if you all have any questions, please right now, give you a few more seconds actually, because Tamara's tired. Thank you. Tamara and I, we worked together. I had just started in pelvic health, and all those years ago, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago,
I
but
know,
yeah.
I
So, and you
know.
all, y'all, this awesome team at OU Physicians in Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
So amazing, amazing folks. I, of course, was on the PT side, but we were all in the same office, and it was absolutely awesome learning environment. You
yeah.
all were very patient with me because you know what I was doing.
You were wonderful. You were wonderful. We miss you, Tanya.
I miss y'all too.
Come back. You can always come back.
I appreciate it. But yeah, Tim, I appreciate you all. This is her website. I'm sorry. Email address. I'm sorry. If you have any questions, go ahead and email her. She gave me permission to put that up there so that you guys can ask any questions that you have. So thanks again, Tamara. I appreciate you. You go take care of those babies, and I'll holler at you.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good night.